Civilization can die, because it has already died once. To some historians of the early 20th century, the twilight of Rome seemed almost a page of contemporary history. This analogy has become deeply rooted in popular thought, and certainly persists today. It is even reflected in the writings of some modern, competent authorities. The irresistible allusion to ancient Rome has dominated the thinking of large numbers of people for 1.5 millennia. Were it not for this well-documented example of a powerful empire disintegrating, to which every Western schoolchild is exposed, the fear of collapse would certainly be less widespread. As it is, those who are concerned about the future of industrial society, about its economic direction, its ecological basis, and its political superstructure, have an irrefutable illustration of the contention that civilizations, even powerful ones, are vulnerable. Why study collapse? Many social scientists might agree with Isaac. Quote, "It goes without saying that the collapse of ancient civilization is the most outstanding event in its history." End quote. Yet, beyond scientific interest, there is an additional reason. Collapse is a topic of the most widespread concern and the highest social significance. The reason why complex societies disintegrate is of vital importance to every member of one, and today that includes nearly the entire world population. Whether or not collapse was the most outstanding event of ancient history, few would care for it to become the most significant event of the present era. Even if one believes that modern societies are less vulnerable to collapse than ancient ones, the possibility that they may not be so remains troubling. In the absence of a systematic, scientific treatment of collapse, such concerns range untethered to any firm, reliable base. Disintegration of the social order has been a recurrent concern in Western history and has often been expressed in a religious idiom. In the last few decades, this concern has seemingly become rampant and has achieved expression through a more secular form. A review of a recent exhibit of Mayan artifacts expressed popular thinking well. Quote, "Some of the fascination of the Maya may lie in the legendary collapse of their culture several centuries before the Spanish conquest. Every thoughtful person who ponders the bureaucratic and technological pressures on ordinary life today must wonder whether it is possible for a society to strangle on its own complexities. Sensing that our own collective future is in jeopardy, we are hungry for historical analysis to help us imagine the direction events might take." End quote. This concern crosses the social and intellectual spectrum, from the responsible scientists and business leaders who make up the Club of Rome to the more extreme fringes of the survivalist movement. In between, one finds a variety of serious, well-meaning persons, environmentalists, no-growth advocates, nuclear freeze proponents, and others. All fear, for one reason or another, that industrial civilization is in danger. Such fears are frequently based on historical analogy with past civilizations that have disappeared, and indeed, it is sometimes suggested that we are about to go the way of the dinosaurs. Contemporary thinkers foresee collapse from such catastrophes as nuclear war, resource depletion, economic decline, ecological crises, or socio-political disintegration. Only recently have such fears become widespread. As Dawson has noted, quote, "Of all the changes that the 20th century has brought, none goes deeper than the disappearance of that unquestioning faith in the future and the absolute value of our civilization, which was the dominant note of the 19th century." End quote. Although collapse has been of interest for as long as societies have proven vulnerable, it has been a difficult mystery for historians and social scientists. Perhaps because of this, the development of political complexity has attracted more scholarly attention than collapse, its antithesis. Human history as a whole has been characterized by a seemingly inexorable trend toward higher levels of complexity, specialization, and socio-political control, processing of greater quantities of energy and information, formation of ever larger settlements, and development of more complex and capable technologies. This persistent aspect of our history has rightfully received an overwhelming amount of research, so that today we are beginning to understand how this came about. Yet the instances when this almost universal trend has been disrupted by collapse have not received a corresponding level of attention. To be sure, innumerable writers have produced myriad explanations of collapse, but even so, understanding disintegration has remained a distinctly minor concern in the social sciences. Explanations of collapse have tended to be ad hoc,